Sechta Makos, Daf Yud Beis Amud Aleph, 6 lines from the top. We're up to the words Nigma Dinai. We learned in the Mishnah Nigma Dinai, even if a person who killed B'Shegeg and is in Golos, and they need him because he's so qualified, he's so special, like the general of Yoy Ben Surya. Nevertheless, the halacha is that he cannot leave the Golos. And Seif Malachim describes that David HaMelech, before he died, he commanded Shlomo, his son, to kill Yoy Ben Surya, who was the head general, for killing Avner ben Ner, who was the head general on the shoal, and Amos ben Yesa. When Yoav heard that, he ran to the Oyel of Hashem in the Mishkan, and he held on to the corners of the Mizbeach, because he thought the Mizbeach will protect him. But he had a mistake, and it didn't help him, and they killed him. And according to the Tzibur Shlomo, they killed him. So the Gemara explains what was his mistake. I'm going to have Yehuda Marab. Now Yehuda said the name of Rav Shtei Ta'uyez Ta'uyez Shah. Two mistakes Yoav made at the time when he ran to the Mizbeach. The Tzibur, like it says in the pasuk in Malachim, Yonas Yoav El Oyel Hashem Yasser Bekanes HaMizbeach. That Yoav ran to the Oyel and he held on to the corners of the Mizbeach. That was one mistake. He made a mistake because the Mizbeach, the corners of the Mizbeach don't protect, only the top of the Mizbeach. And he held on to the corners of the Mizbeach. Second mistake was that the only Mizbeach that will protect is the Mizbeach that was in the Beis Hamikdash. He held on to the Mizbeach that was in Mishkan Shilei. Abai says an additional mistake he made. From this too, he made a mistake. It only protects the kohen who's standing there and doing the avodah. Who's Zahaya? Yoav was a zar, was not a kohen. Sagt die Gemara, Amar Eshlok Yeshos Tayis, Osid Hamalach Sar Shorani. The Malach Samal, the Samach Mem, is the Zar of Edom or Zar of Esau. That made three mistakes. He will make three mistakes in the future. He's going to make mistakes in the future. It seems like it says in the pasuk, Chometz begadim mi batza. Who is this? Meaning, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will come from Batza after he will kill the Tsar of Rome, the Samach Mem. His begadim will be soiled from blood that's sprayed on him from killing the Samach Mem. He made a mistake, the Samach Mem, because the city that would be a city of refuge was Betza. And he ran to Batza, which is totally a different city, which is not Are Mikla. Tell you, another mistake. The whole of Mikla is only for protection, is only for somebody who killed B'Shegeg. Who Mason Haya? But he killed B'Mazin. Third, meaning the Malach Samach Mem. Third mistake is Toya. It only protects man, and the Samach Man was a Malach, and therefore it's not a protection. It was not given to the Levim that lived there for burial. Like it says in the pasuk, the open space should be for the animals and for their wealth and for all the beasts, the wild beasts. Only for the needs of the living. Nitnu, these cities of Levim were given. Not for burial. We learned now Mishnah from the word Shama about those that killed B'Shegeg and exiled. From the word Shama we learn out if the Ritzeach B'Shegeg dies in their Miklad before the Mises Kohen, we bury him in the other Miklad. So, and we said that the other mikvah is not for burial, and the Gemara Ritzeich is shiny. Ritzeich is different. The Galabei Achmana, the Torah specifically reveals to us that it is for the burial for those that killed B'Shegeg if they died before the Kohen Gadol died. We learned in the Mishnah, Shem Sheyek is just like the city protects those the 2,000 amas around it. it says in the pasuk Vayashav Ba, and the word Ba, to the Aramikla, it says the word Ba v'lei b'tchuma, which means that the Yitzhak, it could only live in the city, but not in the tchum of the 2,000 almas around it. And it's not like we explained in the Mishnah that even the tchum protects the Yitzhak v'shegeg as Ari Miklat. And the Gemara Abaye like Kasha. This is no question. Khan, our Mishnah is dealing with Likloi to protect the Yitzhak v'shegeg from the Goel Adam. So then even the tchum will be a protection for him. Khan, but the Braisa that says that it's forbidden is Lada Be'ir. It's talking about to live in the city, meaning to live in the tchum as if he's living in the city. That the Yitzhak is not allowed to establish a dira there. Gemara, is it right that the Yashabav Leib Tchuma, meaning is Lada, or is talking about living in the tchum over the air? Typically, without the pasuk by Yitzhak v'shgaga, or by the pasuk by Yara Miklat, we know that you cannot establish a dira in the 2,000 amas. It says they Naisim Sada. When it gave to the other Leviim, it says you're not allowed to make the fields which are outside the cities of the Leviim, Lemigrash. The fields that were outside the cities of Leviim, you cannot make it open space, empty space. And Loi Migrash, nor can you take the empty space and make it into a Sada and plant in the empty space. Because there was 1,000 amas for fields and 1,000 amas for empty space. You're not allowed to use the empty space to plant, to have fields there. Nor could you make the empty space into a city. So you're not allowed to build houses there. So from here we know already that you're not allowed to build houses in the 2,000 amas. Nor can you make the city into an empty space. But what do we see from here? That even that a person is not allowed to build the houses in the tchum of the Ari Miklat, in the tchum of the cities of Levim, which were Ari Miklat, and this is without using the pasuk psukim of Ari Miklat to tell us you're not allowed to build be kaveya dira to build houses there. And the Gemara, we needed this rasha by Ari Miklat al inyan the tchum hayib b'chiles, where they would make tunnels under the karka of the empty space or the fields to tell us that you're not allowed to make any tunnels there. That it said Mishgaga is not allowed to live in those tunnels under the empty space. It says we learned in the Mishnah it says that went outside the tchum. So the Gemara brings a Braisa, which we learned the Machlois of Tanoim in the Geich to her Yitzhak who left from the city of Mikra. Tanoim Abanam. Abanam in a Braisa. It says in the pasuk Matzah is Goel Adam michutz likbolim miklatim v'notzach Goel Adam is Yitzhak. The Goel Adam, the relative, will kill the Yitzhak Mishgaga and Eilein Dam, and he doesn't get killed for killing the relative for killing the Yitzhak Mishgaga. So we can learn out from here. Mitzvah b'yad Goel Adam. It's a mitzvah for the relative to kill the Yitzhak who left out of Miklat. The Yitzhak Mishgaga who left out of Miklat. It's a mitzvah to kill him. Ein like Goel Adam, if he doesn't have any relatives, the shus b'yad Kol Adam. Then an ordinary person has the permission. It's not a mitzvah, but then he has the shus to kill him. Those are the words of Rabbi Yisrael, Rabbi Akiva. The shus, yes, b'yad Goel Adam. It's not a mitzvah for the relatives to kill him. It's a shus, the Chol Adam. But any other ordinary person is not allowed to kill him. Chayam Mala Misa. He's going to be Chayim Misa. In fact, my time to Rabbi Yisrael. What's the reason of Rabbi Yossi Haglili that he says it's a mitzvah? Because Ksiv im ratzach. Does it say in the pasuk the word im ratzach? If the Goel Adam will kill the Yitzhak? No, it says v'ratzach and he killed him. So you see, it's a mitzvah. So Rabbi Akiva, in fact, why do you say it's not a mitzvah? You have the word v'ratzach. And the Gemara makes it that he should kill him, and meaning in the future he should kill him. It says, but else and he killed him. There's no proof that it's a mitzvah. It's not a mitzvah. That's a shita of Rabbi Akiva. Mazut Bartuvi Amrav. It says sheyotza chutz l'tchum l'mitzvah yigel adam b'haroged. It says that went outside the tchum, and the relative found him and he killed him. Nereg alav, he gets killed. Thinking about it, this din of a relative killing, I'd say, who left the city of Miklat, doesn't follow anybody. Come on, Loik Rabbi Yossi Haglili, who says it's a mitzvah, Loik Rabbi Akiva, who says that the relative, it's a reshus, but how could you say he gets killed for killing the Yitzhak Mishgaga, the relative? Everybody holds the relative could do it, either it's a mitzvah or a reshus. And he says like this Tana, the Tana we learned in Rabbi Lezer says, this Yitzhak, even Mishgaga, does not get killed till he's brought in front of Bezdin. And you paskin that he should get killed. What is the pasuk coming to teach us? I would have explained that it's mutter to kill him miyad right away. Talmud Lema, that's why the pasuk comes to tell us ad omdei lifnei ha'edo limishpat. That's forbidden for the relative to kill him till there's a psak from the Bezdin. So you see from the B'naisa that according to Rabbi Lezer, the girl Adam is not allowed to kill her Yitzhak. Okay, and that's who the Shita Rab, who said that if he kills me, he gets killed, was following the Shita of this B'naisa, Rabbi Lezer. Talking about Rabbi Yossi, and Rabbi Yossi Agili holds that it's a mitzvah. Rabbi Akiva, who says that it's a reshus. Hi. What do they do with this pasuk? It says he has to go in front of a bezdin. It says what do they dash with this pasuk? They need that pasuk like they learned in the B'naisa. Rabbi Akiva says, how do we know that they themselves saw how one killed Reuven killed Shimon? The bezdin themselves had seen the incident. That they cannot kill the person according to what they had seen. Till they testify in front of a different bezdin. How do we know that? It says to tell us that even a bezdin who had seen Reuven killing Shimon, they cannot paskin on what they had seen. Till they go to another bezdin and testify there. It says the Gemara. It says from Yotzei. It says in the Brayse. It says in the pasuk in Yotzei Yitzei. Haritzeach has gul ir meklot hashayon shamel matzah yisrael adam echutz legvul ir meklot v'ratzah gul adam as haritzeach ein leidam. It says if out he would go the Haritzeach. It says that double lashon Yotzei Yitzei. If the Haritzeach b'shegel will go out of his gvul, and the relative will find him and kill him, then the girl Adam could kill him. So we only know if he left the Mazid, if he went out from the Imiklat intentionally. How do we know if B'Shoyeg B'Nayin? How do we know if he left the Imiklat by mistake? Tamalemi comes to the pasuk and says in Yotzei Yitzei Nikol Makim. Says a double lashon Yotzei Yitzei. The worst Yotzei is going on if he went out B'Mazid. The second one, even if he went out B'Shoyeg, the halacha is that the relative could kill him. In fact, what about Tanya? We learned in the Brayse that the relative who kills him, if he went out B'Mazid, Me'im Eklot Harun Nereg, he gets killed by the Gil Adam. But if it's Mashma B'Shoyeg, the Gil Adam is not allowed to kill him. It says Dafke B'Mazid in the Brayse, which is Mashma B'Shoyeg, he's not allowed. And we want to like Kasha, there's no question. This Brayse that says the Gil Adam is not allowed to kill him if he came out with Shegeg, his Command Yama, the Command Yama Damrinon, to be a terrible Lashman Yodam. This that it says in Yotzei Yitzei, it's not a limud that you can learn out from Mason and Shegeg. Rather, Yotzei Yitzei is the way people speak. It's a Lashon that the way people speak. The Bryce that says the girl Adam could kill him even if he came out with Shegeg, Command Yama, the Loy, I mean, to be a terrible Yodam. This Mandel that says you do learn out from the word Yotzei and Yitzei, Yotzei for Shegeg and Yitzei for Mazid, is to tell you that you don't say that it's a derech of the Torah to speak in the Lashon B'nai Yodam. Abai. And rather, it's made for a limit. Abai said, it's been stopped to say the word Yotzei Yitzei, you cannot make a limit from it, and it's the Lashon, the way people speak. And it's not extra, it's not something you can make a limit out of. And so what's the reason? Meaning, what's the reason that we don't kill him as a shegeg if he left by mistake? Because the end should not be more chamor. Meaning that when once he's not a miklat, shouldn't be more chamor than when he actually killed b'shegeg. Matchilase, just like at the beginning. If the mezid nerag, only if he kills intentionally, then we kill him. But b'shegeg, we say goyla, and this is right after the killing. We say he goes to golas. Av seifei, so too seifei. Now we're not talking about killing anymore. We're talking about leaving the Ari Miklat. So for sure, we should say, if it's a shegeg, only the mezid if he left nerag, but b'shegeg we shouldn't kill him because it shouldn't be any worse than at the beginning. Just like at the beginning, the shegeg you only send him to golas. So too, but again, out of miklat, only the mezid you can kill him, but b'shegeg you should have the same thing as the beginning, that he should go back to golas. I'm sorry, we bring a study between the Baraises when a father who killed his son. Tani Chada, we learned in one Baraisa, Shaharag, a father that killed his son, the Shegei, then the second son, Nasaloi, becomes the relative of the girl Adam, and he's allowed to kill his father. The Tani, another Baraisa we learned, Shein B'nai, Nasaloi girl Adam, that the second son cannot be the relative of the son that was killed by the father to kill the father. He's not allowed. So we have a study of two Baraisas. So the Gemara let us say that the machlekes between the two Baraisas is the Baraisa that says that the Benoi becomes the Gel Adam and he can kill his father is Rabbi Yeshua Glili, who says that there's a mitzvah in the hand of the Gel Adam to kill the Ritzich, and therefore the second son to fulfill this mitzvah. It's a mitzvah, and therefore he can kill his father. But the second Baraisa that says the son cannot act as a Gel Adam to kill the father, holds Rabbi Akiva, because the Gel Adam, in the relative killing a person, is not a mitzvah. So if it's not a mitzvah, he's definitely not allowed to kill his father. It's not kibbud up. Shlak Rabbi Gemara Tizbera. Do you think that's what the machlekes is? Bein l'man de'ama asai, according to the man de'ama that says mitzvah, that it's a mitzvah for the relative to kill the person who killed the shegeg. Ubein l'man de'ama reshus, and say according to the man de'ama that it says it's only reshus mishari, is the mutter for the son to be a girl adam to kill the father. Amar Rabbi Huda, v'chein tanu d'vei Rabbi Yishmael. Rabbi Huda said, and so to me Yeshiva Rabbi Yishmael, lakol to all abayis in the Torah that the father's able. He cannot become a shliach to punish it of if his father not to give malchus abayim to his father or to put him in chaydim chutz basis, except for a father who was a basis, encouraged others to serve avodah zarah. Then the son is allowed to kill him, hit him, and put him in. They shouldn't have pity on a person that is a masis, which is referring to even a father, and therefore a son can do it even to a father only by masis. So how do we explain the two Brais? One Brais says the second son could act as a Gel Adam to kill a father, and the other Brais says he cannot. Says here we're talking about that it's the son of the Reitzayach, the son of Reitzayach, which is a brother of the one that got killed. Yeah, he can act as a relative. He cannot act as a relative to kill his father because it's mamish his father. But the Brais that says that the ben could be a Gel Adam, a relative, is talking about Bibem Benai, by the son of the one that was killed. That means the grandson of the father is allowed to kill the father. It's like the Mishnah we learn. Elon Shu Aimed, a tree that is standing with Sekhatchum of the Amiklat Beneif, and its branches is sticking out Mechutz L'Tchum, outside the boundary of the Arimiklat. Or the trunk is standing outside of the Chum of the Arimikla, but the branch is sticking inside the Tchum. And everything goes according to the branch. If the branch is inside the tchum, so even though the trunk is outside the tchum, it's considered as inside the tchum, and you're not allowed, and the relative is not allowed to touch the Tzed V'Shgaga. But if the trunk is inside, but the branch is outside, so then it has a din like it's outside the tchum, and even the trunk has a din like it's outside the tchum, and the relative is allowed to kill him if he's on the trunk of the tree. We learned in the Mishnah with the Gay Ari and Mikla that we go after the branch. And I mean, I'll ask you, Stida Elan, with the Gay to Mais, Elan Shu Ahmed Bifnim, Elan, a tree that's standing inside the walls of Yerushalayim, with Neit Lachutz, and its branches outside, Oishu, who outside the walls of Yerushalayim, Oishu and Lachutz, or the trunk is standing outside the walls of Yerushalayim, with Neit Lachutz, but the branches are inside Yerushalayim. Says the Mishnah, whatever is inside the chayma, it has a din like inside. If the trunk is, whatever is inside has a din like inside, and they can eat the ma'aser sheni, and you cannot redeem over there ma'aser sheni, but you can eat ma'aser sheni there because it's like inside Yerushalayim. But whatever area of the tree is outside the tchum, that part is considered outside Yerushalayim, and you cannot eat ma'aser sheni there, and you have to redeem whatever fruits are on the outside, growing in that area or holding there in that area, even though you're on the branch of the tree and the trunk is inside. So you have a state that here we go according to wherever it is, wherever the part of the tree is. If the part of whatever part is inside the wall has a din like inside your slime, whatever part is outside the wall has a din like outside, and we don't go after the branch. And the Gemara, Maisa, you're asking for Maisa on a din of Maisa on to the dinim of Ari Miklat. Maisa, Maisa, it depends on the wall, wherever it is. It says, and therefore the Maisa can only be eaten inside the wall, and cannot be eaten outside the wall. So you cannot go you can never go according to the space that's outside the chayma, because it depends on the space where you're standing, inside the chayma or outside the chayma. It has nothing to do with the branch, following the branch. About a mikla, then again, the city protecting the Ratzchim, protecting them from the relatives. You're not allowed to kill them only if it's the Torah depends that it's who lives in the city in according to if he's where he is, where he's living. And when there's a tree that's standing outside the tchum, but the branches, when there's a tree standing inside the tchum and the branches outside the tchum, or the reverse, so we go according to the branch, because it has to be a place where he lives. And by Neifei, we say mitdale. A person can live on a branch, but a person cannot live on the trunk of a tree. People build like tree houses, but on branches, not on the trunk. And because of that, the Ikka goes according to the branch, because that's the Makmadira. And by Aramiklet, to save the Tzed V'Shgaga is totally the Dira. And where is it more Shai Badira? On the branch. That's why we follow the branch. And they find it, and they ask us from one din of Maisa on another din, same topic. And then we have a stira in the Psak, the Tanya that we learned from Abraisa. When they get to eating Maisa Sheni B'Yerushalayim, it says that Elam that's found in one place and the branch is in another place. Halach Achana, there it says before we follow the branch. That if the branch is in the chayma, so then it has a din, and you have Maisa Sheni Kediyah there, even on the trunk, which is outside the wall of Yerushalayim. And if it's the reverse, then you can, even on the branch, you can't, even on the trunk, you cannot, you have to redeem the Maisa Sheni, as a din like Chutz Laretz. And you cannot eat Maisa Sheni on the trunk. And so too by Arimikra, we go according to the branch. So Zakasha, we said by Maisa before that we go wherever it is, that's what it has a din like. If it's inside the walls of Yerushalayim, it's Yerushalayim. If it's outside the walls of Yerushalayim, it's considered outside. And you want to kind of like Kasha. This is not a stira. The Bryce that says we follow the branch, that's Rabbi Yehudi. Goes according to the Shita Rabbi Yehuda who holds. And we're going to soon see what Rabbi Yehuda holds. But the Mishnah that says that we go according to the space where it's in, that's Rabbanani, who argues on Rabbi Yehuda. It's like the Yimana the Tanya that we learned from Rabbi Bryce when they gave to Aklis Maisa Sheni. What we learned says the Yimana that Rabbi Yehuda says, Bama'ara, in a cave, that a part of it is in Yerushalayim and part of it is outside the walls of Yerushalayim. We go according to the entrance of the cave, and that's what's going to have. If the entrance of the cave is in the walls of Yerushalayim, even though the cave goes outside Yerushalayim, as it did like in Yerushalayim. If most of the cave is inside Yerushalayim, but the entrance is outside, as it did like outside. And so too, we go according to the branch. If the branch is inside Yerushalayim, as a din like Yerushalayim, and if it's outside, then it has a din like Chutz La'aretz. And even the trunk has a din like Chutz La'aretz. Says in fact, when did Rabbi Yehuda say that we go after the knife or after the entrance, Gabi Maisa? Only by Maisa we go after the knife L'chumra. That's whether the knife is inside or outside. If the trunk of the tree is bachutz v'neif and the branch is inside Yerushalayim, just like the Maisa on the branch, which is inside Yerushalayim, you cannot redeem because it's in Yerushalayim. It has to be redeemed outside Yerushalayim. So to be, you cannot redeem. The Maisa has a din like inside Yerushalayim. And so too, if the ik of the tree is inside Yerushalayim, and the branches are out, just like by the branch, we follow the branch. The branch has a din like outside, so you cannot eat Ma'aser Sheni Day, has a din like outside Yerushalayim. So too, so too, on the ikar, you cannot eat Ma'aser Sheni without redeeming it because it has a din like outside Yerushalayim. How do we know even there that we go after the branch? Bishleima is understood that we go after the branch when ikare bachutz, when the trunk is outside, middle from bifnim, and the branch is inside. So we're going to be machmir on the gel adam that he cannot kill him. Just like on the branch which is inside the iron mikla, the girl Adam cannot kill him. So I would say even on the trunk, which is outside the bull, he cannot kill him. But in the case where the trunk is inside the Yerushalayim, but the branches are outside the Yerushalayim, just like by the branch. If the Hitzayich finds the guy Adam finds that he can kill him. So if even where on the trunk, where it's inside the boundary of Yerushalayim, he can kill him because the branch follows after the tchum. Because the branch, the ikir goes after the branches, which is considered outside the tchum of the Arimikla. So therefore, he should be able to kill him, even though the ikir is in the tchum. In fact, the shaila, how could he kill him? But mamish, where's the netzach? He's inside the tchum, even though the trunk follows the branch, which is outside the tchum. But if he's on the trunk, he's inside the tchum. How could he kill him? Amarava says the koliyama when it comes to the trunk of the tree, if it's inside, everybody says since he's standing in the gevul, it has it in like he's standing inside the gevul, and you cannot kill him. But what if the Ritzech is standing on the branch which is outside, and the Gal Adam does not. So he says, and he doesn't have to go up on the tree to catch him, to kill him. You can kill him with arrows and with stones. Everybody agrees that they can kill him. Where are they arguing? Keep pligi. Where are they arguing? Rabbi Yehuda and the Rabbanan. If you go after the knife, that he cannot kill him with arrows and stones, and he has to get up on the tree. So if the trunk of the tree is inside the tchum, could he use that trunk of a tree, run inside the Ari Mikla, to step on the trunk of the tree to get up to the branch to kill him, which is outside the tchum? One says the ikar that's inside could be used, meaning the trunk, even though it's inside the Ari Mikla, the relative could go inside the Ari Mikla and use it as a step to go to the branch of the tree, which is outside, to kill the Tzeiv Shgago. And one says that he cannot go inside the Ari Mikla to use the trunk of the tree as a step to climb up the tree to go after the Tzeiv Shgago, because the Ikeh doesn't go after the knife. Ravashi says that the pshat is Umay Acha Knife, Af Acha Knife. What does it mean? What does it mean, Acha Knife? Even after the knife, meaning in the apron that the branch is inside and the trunk is outside. So he's telling you by Ari Mikla, if the branch is inside and the trunk is outside, you go after the branch lechuma, that you're not allowed to kill him. But the ikeh b'fnim and the knife b'chutz, if the trunk is inside and the branch is outside, you don't go after the knife at all, because then it's there we say he's considered. Meaning, not only we want to say even the knife, it's forbidden to kill him, even though the knife is outside. Even the knife, it's forbidden to kill him, and to use it to go inside the trunk to climb up and to kill him on the knife. Meaning, according to Avasha, we're going to be machmer. That when it comes to Ari Miklat, even if the branch of the tree is outside and the trunk of the tree is inside, so l'chayri you would say you go basa acha knife, and the din which should have a din like it's outside the chum. So he's coming to tell you, not only does the trunk of the tree where he's standing has a din like inside the Ari Miklat, but even the branch which is sticking out will go after the ikar. In such a case, when by Ari Miklat, we're going to be machmer that the Goel Adam should not be able to kill the Tzeiv B'Shgaga. Zak the Mishnah that our Mishnah is dealing with a Ritzeach that killed for a second time. So if he killed for a second time while he was in the Ari Mikla, the Hadar say here, he killed while he was in the Ari Mikla itself. He goes from one side of the city to another side of the city, from one neighborhood to another. Ben Levi, but Ben Levi that's always lived in Ari Miklat, that killed B'Shegeg, Meir. He gets exiled from the city Zu, from the one city Leir, he goes to another city. We learned in the Mishnah that Ritzeach goes to Ari Miklat in the same Miklat itself, but from one, if he killed an Ari Miklat, from one neighborhood to another. Tanya Rabban we learned in the Brais. It says in the Torah, it says, so what do we learn that V'samtlecha teaches, we dash with the pasuk, many didn't be a Ritzeach, somebody who kills, that gets exiled to Ari Miklat. So V'samtlecha means to Moshe, the pasuk is saying, B'chayecha, that it was Hashem told him that he will merit to the mitzvah to designate 3 Ari Miklat. This that it said L'chamakim, we learn out that the Miklat is Mimkaimcha, meaning from the Makim of Moshe, who was a Levi. That's Machal Leviyah. That's where the Ratzchim will run to be protected. In the Ari Miklat, the Ari Miklat will be in the cities of the Leviyim. Also, while being Bamidbar, before they entered Eretz Yisrael, if they killed B'Shegeg, it says the Yidden were also had a place in where to be protected if they killed the Shegeg in the Midbar. Leichem Maglan, to where would they go as an Arei Miklat? There wasn't yet Arei Miklat, they didn't designate Arei Miklat. Only where do they go? L'Machal Leviyah. It means that the Ratzchim who killed the Shega would run to Machal Leviyah. From here we learn out, Ben Levi Shahadak. A Ben Levi that killed, who was in the city of Miklat, Gelim in Plach Leplach. He gets exiled from one city of Miklat to another. Even the Gala Lebilchai, and if he, meaning in that city, if he killed and he ran from one shchuna to another shchuna, his city will protect him. And the Gemara says, a marker for it. What is the pasuk from which we learn out that in the same city, even though in the Mishnah says he runs from one city to another, how do we know in the same city he'll be still protected? Because it says, in this city of his miklat he should sit. It could have said, Kisham Yashav, that over there he dwelled. Why does it say miklatoi? To tell us, to teach us that he exiles himself even in that same city when he kills somebody, just going from one neighborhood of that city to another neighborhood.